how's it going? Hopefully, everyone had a great weekend. Mine was pretty lazy because it's hot. And today was 105, which is really too hot for me to be outside. The other thing that's heating up is Georgia's case against Trump. It's in the middle of a grand jury. I guess they're about to end the grand jury here soon. I got one story from Ground News. Georgia website briefly publishes and removes documents about potential Trump charges. The Fulton County Sheriff in Georgia has implemented security measures around Lewis R. Slatton Courthouse as the city braces for a potential criminal indictment of the former Donald Trump, or President Donald Trump. The two-page docket reportedly posted by the Fulton County Court's website suggests that Trump may be charged with offenses such as racketeering, conspiracy, and false statements. The Fulton County Clerk's Office has not commented about the docket report, and the county representative have not been available for immediate comment. See here. Prosecutors have started presenting Georgia election investigation into grand jury. Prosecutors in Atlanta have begun presenting their case to a grand jury in the investigation into whether Donald Trump and his allies illegally meddled in Georgia's 2020 election. Former Democrat State Senator Jen Jordan, former Democrat State Rep B. Nugent, and Gabriel Sterling, the top officials of the Secretary of State office, have been questioned by prosecutors. Fulton County District Attorney Fina Willis is expected to seek an indictment from the grand jury next week, potentially charging multiple people under the state racketeering statute. According to WOWT.com, 6 News, Georgia website publishes and takes down a list of criminal charges against Trump by the Associated Press and Kate Rumback, published August 14th, 2023, 11:35 a.m. CDT, updated 5 minutes ago. Atlanta AP, a list of criminal charges in Georgia against former President Donald Trump, briefly appeared Monday on Fulton County website, but prosecutors said Trump has not been indicted in their long-running investigation of the 2020 potential election. I don't know how long these investigations are supposed to last, but I find it very surprising that we're about to go to 2024, and all these charges just miraculously appears on Donald Trump. If I was a tinfoil conspiracy person, I would say this is election interference. This is the state under Joe Biden trying to influence Trump's decision to drop out. The Fulton grand jury began hearing from more witnesses Monday, shortly after 12 p.m. Reuters reported that several criminal charges will be brought against Trump, including state racketeering counts, conspiracy to commit false statements, and solicitation of violation of oath by public officer. Violation of oath. That should apply to a lot of people in office right now. I'm not trying to make this a Republican versus Democrat. There's people in both parties. There's people that are independent. There's people on the city level, and most, I don't know if most cities are nonpartisan, but have violated their oath by a public officer. There's a lot of people guilty of this. See, Reuters, which later published a copy of a document saying that the filing was taken down quickly. Spokesperson for Fulton County District Attorney Fana Willis said that the report of charges being filed was inaccurate but declined to comment further. They're inaccurate because they may be adding to it, or they may not be charging him, but there's a good chance that he's being charged. Newton County Clerk's Chi Alexander office later released a statement that seemed to only raise more questions, calling the post documents fictitious but failing to explain how it got on the court's website. The clerk's office said the documents without the official case numbers are not considered official filings and should not be treated as such, but the documents that appeared online did have case numbers. Someone's lying. Someone's lying. I think those were the actual charges that they were going to charge him with. I think they had them pre-written up. This is what the grand jury was over. But it just did it prematurely. I guess they expected that this would have been done. Maybe it was a timed event, as in post this on this date because we should be done by this date. And people forgot to add some more time to the timer. Only thing I'm guessing. When asked by the Associated Press why there were case numbers on the document, Alexander declined to comment. Trump and his allies, who have characterized the investigation as a political motivation, immediately seized on the apparent error, claimed that the process is rigged. It very well might be rigged. Trump's campaign aimed to fundraise off of it, sending out an email with the since deleted document embedded. The grand jury testimony is not even finished, but it's clear that the district attorney has already decided how this case will end, Trump wrote in an email, which included links to give to his campaign. They're trying to rob me of my due right process, and this is absolutely a disgrace. I mean, they're giving you a lot to due process. I mean, I'm not trying to bash Trump, but the whole court trial is your due process. I think what they're trying to do is election interference by keeping you tied up in courts, keeping you wasting your money on cases that you may or may not win, to prevent you from spending money on a campaign trail or a election campaign. That's why I think it's election interference, both on the federal level and the state of Georgia. It is unclear why the list was posted while grand juries were still hearing from witnesses and expelling investigations into actions taken by Trump and others in their efforts to overturn his narrow loss in Georgia to Democrat Joe Biden. It's also unclear whether the grand juries were aware on Monday that the filing was posted online. They would still need to vote on charges, so the courts listed and the posting may or not be the ultimately be brought against Trump. Legal team said that it was not a simple administrative mistake, but it showed that the prosecutor's office had no respect for the integrity of the grand jury process. This is emblematic of the provisions of the glaring constitutional violations that have plagued this case from the very incept. Trump lawyers Drew Finding, Jennifer Little, and Marissa Goldberg said. Legal experts said it was likely a clerical error listing the charges prosecutors were planning to ask the grand jury to vote on. Prosecutors draft indictments and present them to a grand jury, ultimately decided whether to hand charges down. I think this tells us that they're planning to present the grand jury, and the grand jury could say no, said Clark Cunningham, a Georgia State University law professor. Cunningham said while the error will give Trump's legal team fodder to complain, it likely won't ultimately impact the case. It will not scuttle the case. Will his lawyers make a lot of noise about it? Yes, they will. Will Mr. Trump make a lot of noise about it? Yes, he will. I'm sure they will have to have an explanation for it, Cunningham said. One person who said he'd been called to testify to the grand jury suggests on Monday that the process may be moving more quickly than anticipated. George Chidi, an independent journalist, has tweeted previously that he asked to testify on Tuesday, but later posted that he was going to court on Monday, adding that they're moving faster than they thought. Chidi wrote the Interceptor last month that barge into a semi-clandestine meeting of Republicans pretending to be Georgia's official electors in December 2020. He described being thrown out of the room just after entering, told them that it was an educational meeting. The grand jury, that's almost over. Grand jury filing Monday lists more than a dozen felonies, including Georgia's racketeering influence and corruption organization, or RICO. Willis has long been expected to levy the charges against Trump and his associates, accusing them of participating in wide-ranging conspiracies to overturn the state's election in 2020. The election results, 2 counts, including solicitation of a violation by oath by a public officer, lists the date of offense of January 2, 2021, which was when Trump was doing a phone call with Georgia Secretary of State Board Brad Raffensperger, said that he wanted to find enough votes to overturn his loss in the state. I mean, find the votes, they're probably there. I mean, I get that. Probably shouldn't have made that call. Others count the list date offending of September 17, 2022, in which the same day Trump sent Raffensperger a message urging him to investigate large-scale voter fraud, decertify the election, and announce the true winner if the investigation found the fraud. If the investigation found the fraud. If the investigation found the fraud. Trump sent a message urging him to investigate large-scale voter fraud, decertify the election, and announce the true winner if the investigation found the fraud. I know I'm not the best when it comes to grammar, sentence structure, maybe reading comprehension. But if there was fraud found and it was provable to be found, and the investigation found the fraud, and it was enough to sway the election in Georgia, wouldn't that be the legal thing to do if Trump truly won and the fraud was found? Your former Democrat Senator Jan Jordan, who has been suspended to testify before the grand jury, said that she left Fulton County Courthouse late Monday morning, saying that she was questioned for about 40 minutes. Former Democratic State Rep B. Nugent also confirmed that she testified. News outlets reported that Gabriel Sterney, a top official of the Secretary of State office, was seen arriving at the courthouse early Monday. No individuals are above the law unless you're Hunter Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, to name a few. Probably Mitch McConnell, too. Let's hear, no individual is above the law and will continue to fully cooperate with any legal proceedings, seeking the truth and protecting our democracy. So their democracy, Nugent said in a statement. Every time I hear our democracy, I hear their democracy. Nugent and Jordan both attended a legislative hearing on December 2020, during which former New York mayor and Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani and others made false claims of widespread election fraud in Georgia. Trump lawyer John Espen also appeared during at least one of those hearings and said that the election had not been held in compliance with Georgia law, and the lawmakers should appoint a new state of electors. Sterling and his boss, Georgia Secretary of State Board Brad Raffensperger, both Republicans, forcefully pushed back against the allegations of widespread problems in Georgia's election. Trump famously called Raffensperger on January 2nd, 2021, suggested the state's top elections officials could help find the votes, or find votes Trump needed to beat Biden. It was a release of the recording of the phone call that prompted Willis to open her investigation a month later. Now, same day sent a message urging him to investigate large-scale voter fraud, decertify the election, announce the true winner if the investigation found the fraud. I would like to know that the election wasn't stolen or everything was legit up to a certain point. Wouldn't that be nice? And by the way, while I'm here, I'm just going to complain. This image in the background, some person's been flagging it on Facebook. I don't know if I'm going to stay on Facebook. I can't keep on logging into Facebook every day to dispute these false allegations that I'm stealing their IP. But with that being said, that is my video for today. And have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down. Call me an idiot, whatever. Doesn't exactly matter. Just have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.